Hey, well, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me. My name's Ken Abernathy. I'm a native Hoosier. I'm a veteran. I'm a business person. I've never run for public office before. I did work for the administrations of Governor Mitch Daniels and Governor Mike Pence. You know, as a West Point cadet, one of the first things you learn is a West Point motto. And those words, duty, honor, country, have stuck with me throughout my life. And they'll be my guiding light when I'm in Washington. Today is the 78th anniversary of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. My dad served as a paratrooper with the 11th Airborne Division during World War II. Ironically, I graduated on June 6th, the anniversary of D-Day. I spent 30 years in the military, in the active, in the Guard, and in the Reserve. I spent a year 20 miles from the DMZ, separating North and South Korea. When I was in Iraq, I was able to look over the border into Syria. I'm not afraid of the career politician and bureaucrats in Washington. As a banker, I was able to work with business leaders in a broad range of industries where I learned a comprehensive knowledge of what it takes to get a successful business and to spur an economy. I believe politics was never meant to be a career profession. When I look to Washington now, what I see is chaos, quite frankly. I see trillions of dollars in debt. I see a Green New Deal that will bankrupt the economy. I see witch hunt after witch hunt. Folks, today's Democrats are not liberals, they're socialists. So we need leaders in Washington who are willing to make the tough decision to pay down the debt, to support our troops, support our veterans, to support our military. And I promise when I go to Washington, I'll do just that. President Trump needs reinforcements. I hope to get your vote. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you for coming out today. I'd like to thank the Alliance and the Coalition for having us all up here to talk with you today about these important issues. My name is Andrew Bales, and I've just recently announced my candidacy, so I'm a little late compared to the others, but for jumping in here. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a father of 3 beautiful daughters and grandfather to 4 beautiful grandchildren. I've lived in Indiana all my life, all in Madison County, Marion County, and also in St. Joseph County. I'm a retired teacher. I taught for 15 years in Indianapolis Public Schools, in Lawrence Township for about 13 years, and in Speedway for a year. I have a Bachelor of Science from IU, and the majority of my education career I taught social studies and world history. I'm also a United States veteran. I served as an enlisted soldier in the 24th Military Intelligence Battalion, the 2nd Armored Cavalry Regiment in Germany, and also the 24th Signal Battalion in the Persian Gulf. I started this grassroots campaign as an average citizen with no political experience, but I'm troubled by the direction that our country is going. I see that this country is going towards socialism, little by little, chipping away at our rights. I can't stand by idly and let that happen. I witnessed firsthand the fall of the Iron Curtain when I was stationed in Germany. I saw people coming into West Germany, kissing the ground as they got off the train, thankful for their freedom, finally, and the joyousness in their eyes. I cherish the freedoms our Constitution guarantees in the United States as a United States citizen, and I will fight to protect those freedoms. Thank you.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is right now. My name is Mike Beckwith, and it is so good to be here. I'm excited to get out and let you know about our campaign, why we're doing what we're doing. We got in this race back before Susan Brooks announced that she was retiring because we saw an overreaching attack on our constitutional values in a lot of different directions. But my background is not in politics. I've never run for an office before, but I've worked in our community. I'm from Noblesville. I have a beautiful wife, Susan. We have 2 wonderful kids. And I've been a pastor and a business owner since I've graduated college. And so I felt like it was time to get in this race when I realized that our Constitution was under assault. You know, our grandparents defeated fascism. Our parents defeated communism. but now socialism is trying to take over. I see a lack of values from the greatest generation to the next generation. The values of my grandparents are not being passed down. They're not being fought for. They're not even being taught in our schools the way that they need to be taught. And so for me, as a millennial, I know how to reach the next generation, but I'm reaching them with values that we all know to be true. That we have to be a nation of faith. We have to be a nation that protects our Constitution. We have to be a nation that believes in limited government. We have to be a nation that lets us be the people that God designed us to be. And if we do that, then we haven't even begun to reach the fullness of our potential. But it will depend on whether or not we can tackle this next generational wave of socialism that's trying to take hold in our schools, in our media, in our societies, in our communities. That's why I'm running, so that I can be the fearless conservative that stops that, so our kids and grandkids have the same liberties and freedoms that we've been so blessed to have.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Hi, I'm Dr. Chuck Dietzen. Most of the kids just call me Dr. Chuck. It's a lot easier for the kids I take care of to say that. I'm a pediatric rehab doc, and I was the chief of pediatric rehabilitation medicine at Riley Hospital for a number of years. Actually started out on my way to being a agriculture guy. I was going to be a veterinarian, so bachelor's degree in agriculture from Purdue, and then a medical degree from Indiana University. I am an entrepreneur. I've actually started both businesses, EMR company that was very useful for teaching patients and also leading them on how to attain health. Also started Timmy Global Health so that we could see that we had succession, so that the future doctors in this country understood how to care compassionately for all of you and your children. One of the great concerns I've seen as I've traveled around the world helping in about 27 other countries, particularly those countries who don't do a good job of taking care of their citizens and don't have individual liberties and prosperity, is you do see a lot of difficult issues. And so those people who come and train with me here often say to me, do your citizens understand how blessed they are to be in the greatest country in the world? And I said, yes, I think many of us do, but clearly we need to defend that. We're at a point in time where I am extremely concerned where this country's going. We have a president now who has reduced taxes, decreased the unemployment to a level we haven't seen in 50 years, and he needs help. And frankly, I think that's a good place for me to roll up my sleeves once again to try to assure a future for these great children that I've been blessed to take care of over the years. Just this morning, had the History Channel on in the background, which I always do, and there was a Pearl Harbor veteran who said, we need to teach our little ones, otherwise there will be no future. So thank you for having us here today. We look forward to chatting with you.
Dr. Anderson.
You can go over there.
Okay. I like the podium, sorry. There we go. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
No.
How about now?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here today and getting to know us as your candidates. I'm often asked, why in the world are you running for Congress in the midst of all this chaos and turmoil in DC? Why wouldn't you just want to stay on your farm, run your business, play with your animals, and enjoy your life? Well, here's why I'd like to run. I've lived in the district for 30 years. I'm a nurse, I'm a business owner, I'm a farmer, and I'm a mother. As a nurse, I can communicate with all walks of life. I'm a problem solver, I'm a collaborator, and I'm a caregiver. As a businesswoman, I know how to develop a business plan. I'm a job creator, and I know how to work within a budget. As a mother, I know how to manage chaos and negotiate with the best of them. And I'm also a fierce protector. And I'm a lifelong conservative. I'd like to take my lifelong skills and conservative values to Washington, D.C. to take care of you in the 5th District and bring the power back to the people. Thank you.
Okay, Danny.
My name is Danny Niederberger. I grew up in Westfield, Indiana, to my parents, Dan and Christine. I have 4 older sisters, an older brother, and 2 younger brothers. Big family. I graduated from Westfield High School, and then I went to Purdue University where I obtained 2 degrees, one in accounting, one in management. After graduating from college, I served as the portfolio accountant at Wallington Asset Management here in Indianapolis. And when I say the portfolio accountant, I was the only one in the portfolio accounting department. My job was to account for $750 million down to the penny. In January of 2017, I moved down to Miami, Florida. I took a job there as a fund accountant for Concise Capital Management, a small hedge fund. When I started, I took over the accounting department, and then I soon took over the operations department. In January of this past year, I moved back to Indiana. I'll never forget walking into my boss's office and telling him that I wanted to move back to Indiana. But Indiana is my home. Indiana is where I wanted to be. Indiana is where I needed to be. In April of this year, I decided I wanted to run for Congress. Why? Each of the pillars of my campaign: protecting the rights of the unborn, reforming education, instituting term limits in Congress, protecting the Second Amendment, and reducing government debt. We're at a crossroads in every single one of these issues, and I feel like with my background, I can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you, candidates.